Now that the federal case or trial of George Zimmerman, or federal grand jury investigation, whatever you want to call it, is over, I think that I can now be totally honest about how I feel about Trayvon Martin and the whole Trayvon Martin case. Even though on one of my channels where I do my music, I did a Trayvon Martin song, because I do feel like there should have been justice for Trayvon Martin. Yet I'm not surprised, and I'm glad somebody else said this too, who actually is more qualified to speak on this than me. She said she wasn't surprised that the grand jury didn't find any charges to bring against Zimmerman. Okay. But my total 100% honest opinion on it, which only my immediate family has heard, is that two idiots found each other. I think that people want to call Zimmerman a thug. I think Zimmerman was a thug. People want to call Trayvon a thug. I think Trayvon was a thug too. But Trayvon was still a kid. I still ultimately blame George Zimmerman, because Zimmerman is the adult. If Trayvon had been 18 years old, I wouldn't have really blinked about it. Just like the whole Mike Brown thing. Part of the reason why Mike Brown doesn't get my sympathy, in addition to his obvious criminal activity, even though I do think Darren Wilson doesn't need to be on the police force either. I think that's another case of two idiots found each other, to be honest. Is that Mike Brown was 18. We call 18 grown. We send 18-year-olds off to war, even though we don't let them drink. You cross that threshold, you're 18. Now, I know, because I have young adult children, I know a lot of 18-year-olds just aren't mature enough. Okay? When I remember when I was 18, some of us were all right. Some of us were actually adults. Some of us still thought and acted like kids. But until we change that legal threshold that says 18, you're grown, 18, you're grown. But 17? 17-year-olds, we still give them a break. You know, when I was in high school, I had to deal with a lot of Trayvons. You know, I had to deal with a lot, and by a lot I don't mean that it was the majority of the people around me, so don't twist this. But I had to deal with some kids like that and want to act up, etc., fight and stuff. I had to deal with that. And, you know, I do think I got some scars from that, but they were still children. They're children. Zimmerman was an adult. Zimmerman was not a cop. Zimmerman was advised to not follow the person. Well, we don't need you to do that. An adult would have stopped, said, okay. A real reasonable adult should have stopped and not follow the person, because the dispatchers made that suggestion. They're representing law enforcement. Law enforcement will come take care of it. And the proof that Zimmerman is an idiot and what he's ultimately was at fault in that situation is look how many times he's been charged since then. When I first saw it, the first thing that came to my mind is two idiots found each other. One of the idiots was a kid, so we have to let that idiot off because that idiot is a child. He don't know better. But you know I couldn't say that right around a lot of black people without being accused of being a traitor to my race. And then there were white people. I heard white people talking at work when they didn't think there was any other black people around, and they want to jump on the Zimmerman side. Now I remember one dude, I'm glad I don't know his name, because he said, yeah, we got George Zimmerman. It was an older guy talking to an older white guy talking to a younger white guy. The older white guy, yeah, we got George Zimmerman. The younger white guy looked at him like he was crazy and said, but Zimmerman's Hispanic. And the old white guy was, but. The young white guy didn't say anything else. And I said to myself, there is a white open fist 24/7. There's a white open fist out there. Because if I was white, I probably would have said that to the person, looked at them like they were stupid, but because this person holds my job in the back, what can I say other than just look at them and try to non-verbally convey that you're a dumbass? But you know, hey, what can you do? So two idiots found each other. Neither one of them wanted to back down. And yes, I do blame George for following and stalking this guy because George was not a cop. If you're not a cop, it's not your job to follow people and stalk them. Now, if you're around someone and they're being victimized, if you're there and they say, help, help, help me, and you intervene, okay, that's fine. I know you're not a cop, but you're a human being helping another human being. But there was nobody in immediate danger. Nobody was in immediate danger from Trayvon. George should have done what he was told to do. Well, because America doesn't like black guys, we take a 17-year-old boy. He couldn't even join the military without parental consent. But yet he's supposed to be seen as a fighting thug, right? He fights against Zimmerman. And that's another thing. There was a part of the trial, I didn't catch everything, but I caught this one part of the trial where Zimmerman's MMA teacher was talking about him, and he said, I don't like using this language, but George was soft. That right there. See, that right there, if I was on a jury, because I know about fighting and stuff, that right there would have made me want to convict Zimmerman, because I know that there's some soft people, soft, bitch-made people that start shit, can't finish it, and then they want to pull out a gun and shoot because they're getting their butts kicked. So that means that even if Trayvon went MMA on Zimmerman, I know that Zimmerman was soft. He started something he couldn't finish. And I don't think Trayvon would have killed him. And then he shot because he was losing. Why did he even have a gun in the first place? If you a neighborhood watch. Your neighborhood watch, why you need a gun? If your neighborhood is so bad that you need a gun to be on neighborhood watch, you don't need to be doing neighborhood watch. You need to be writing your local officials and telling them to step up the police presence in your neighborhood. I got crime to go down where I used to live. I left before I could receive the full blessings of it because I had enough. But I know I got crime down where I used to live, and I didn't have to be on neighborhood watch. I nagged the cops to do their job, and they eventually did their job. Because that's what you're supposed to do. And as a matter of fact, and I'm black, and I got this done. When you're a law-abiding citizen, you have more leverage. When you don't have a criminal record, you have leverage. Because the first thing they're going to do is, especially if you're black, they're going to want to run. You complain about something, right? They're going to want to run your background. They're going to want to check you out. They're going to want to see your ID, right? Or whatever. And who are you when you call it, who are you, and blah, 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 right? They're not going to have the tone of, I'm fact-checking. They're going to have the tone of, well, I bet this person's up to something. And I can't 100% disagree with that. I've seen some TV shows where idiots that have warrants against them call the cops on somebody else. You got a warrant against you, but you're calling the cops on somebody else. You stupid. But anyway, you're law-abiding. You have leverage. They find out, yo, this person's not a problem. This person's an actual law-abiding citizen. Then they feel stupid and probably embarrassed, but that embarrassment is motivation for them to do their job. Or if they don't feel that way, then they just take you seriously. Send emails. I've sent emails to law enforcement. I saw this activity and that activity at this time of day in this location. I emailed it to them. And eventually, they got rid of the people that were doing that crap. So if you neighborhood watch. If you have to have it done to do neighborhood watch, you don't need to be doing neighborhood watch. It's beyond just looking. So no matter how you slice it, two idiots, Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman, found each other. George Zimmerman is still responsible because he was the adult. And I still feel bad for the Martin family. Okay? That's another reason why I want to give my total honest opinion, because this channel doesn't really have that many views in my opinion, but I know in my luck, I'll put this video out as soon as the case was hot. They'll blow this up, and then the family, especially the mom, will be hurt, and the dad will be pissed. Well, he would be hurt too, but he'd have to show his anger because he's a man, and especially black men, we're not allowed to have emotions and be sensitive and shit. Not unless we're rappers or something like that, and we vet our sensitivity by saying, let's kill another non-white person. So, I didn't want to hurt the family, because I've seen instances where, and you know, people like to blame parents for everything. We like to blame parents. We like to blame society. We like to blame white people. We like to blame black people. We like to blame poverty and everything. And all those things are a factor, but ultimately it is the individual who decides to do the act. And many times in the United States of America, individuals actually know that these acts are wrong, but they do them anyway because they feel good to them at the moment. Okay? I've seen people, decent people, have an idiot kid. It happens. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, what if the child is criminally psychotic? They were born like that. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't stick your finger up your child's butt and work them like a hand puppet. People have free will. They do what they want to do and they do what they're going to do. Like the Addams family. So there's nothing you can do about it. Only thing you can do is you can try to influence them for the best or the worst. But it really takes a lot of energy for you to keep somebody who's hell-bent on doing something wrong from doing wrong. Heck, even the cops can't do it. That's why they made jails. Do people really realize what jail is for? Jail is for locking up people that can't stop doing something that society doesn't want them to do. They can't stop doing it. So they end up in jail. Okay? If it's just a one-time offense, they go when they come out. But if they're in there forever, it's because we know that this person can't stop doing whatever it is they're doing. Whatever they did that one time was so bad, we can't risk them doing it again. So we have to keep them away from everybody else. And a lot of times when guys are going through this thug phase, they eventually outgrow it. I've seen white thugs go through the same phase and they outgrow it. You see them even 5 years after high school, they got a shirt and tie on. Hey, how you doing? I'm like, wasn't you yo with me 5 years ago? Now you got a tie on because they want that 401k. They want those stock options. You know, they got to sit behind that desk. They grow up. They realize they got to pay bills. They get out there and realize nobody's going to hire you if you speak Ebonics as a first language. You know, they get rid of all that unless they work in an urban environment. And a lot of times, they're real picky. You think I could go into a black-owned business and, what's up, yo, my nigga, give me the... Oh, my... No. There's no way I could get away with that. And I know as much as black people are brainwashed to love white people, if a white boy came into a black-owned business like that, unless he was doing some kind of hip-hop thing, they wouldn't hire him. They'd be like, oh, he's being racist towards us. He's making fun of us. He's not going to hire. And they wouldn't hire him. Trayvon didn't get to finish out the phase. That's all it was. He was going through a phase. I think Trayvon was going through a phase. I think Zimmerman is really violent. But regardless, they were both being stupid. Two idiots met. Unfortunately, the young boy, I still feel sorry for him though. The young boy died. And Zimmerman, because he was stupid, he's going to be pretty much unpopular for the rest of his life. And I hate to steal from a dude, so I'm going to tell you right now, this is not my joke. I don't remember the guy's name who said it, but it's not my joke. I will tell you that someone else wrote this online. He said George Zimmerman, the white man's OJ. That's exactly what he is. He's the white man's OJ, and eventually he's going to do something. He's already, how many times has he been arrested? Like 5, 6 times since then? So it's only a matter of time before George kills somebody else or he does something stupid and gets locked up. So, I really wish two idiots had not met each other that night, because then two families would not be suffering. And well, I'm not going to say racial tension would be better, because it wouldn't be better. Racial tensions would not be better if that never happened, because at this point in the United States history, there's really no excuse for people to be racist towards each other anymore. There's no excuse for it. You're just racist because you're just a racist asshole, and you just like hating on somebody. And you think you're special because of your race, because you're too lazy to do something with your life to actually contribute and achieve something. And I'm talking to white people and black people who are racist, and Asians too who are racist. You racist bastards. I'm special because you ain't special because somebody of your race built a pyramid, built the wall of China, or what do white people do? There's something that is uniquely white that they actually can steal from somebody else. Let me see. Create an atomic bomb. That doesn't make you special because some other white person made the atomic bomb. That white person that made the atomic bomb is special, not your mediocre behind. This is an open fist. I'm out. And I'm going to say, don't think that I don't feel bad for the Martin family or for Trayvon. I do. I feel bad for him. Okay? But in that alley, that night, two idiots met each other. And unfortunately, call me sexist, when two male idiots meet each other, they come to blows, they come to violence, somebody going to the hospital at the very least. That's just how it is. It's open fist 24/7. I am out.